South African motorists will be paying more for fuel with effect from, midnight Tuesday going into today, Wednesday morning. The price of petrol is expected to increase by 66 cents per litre, while a litre of diesel will go up by 57 cents and paraffin by 49 cents. The price hikes come as food prices also go up and an increase in electricity tariffs looms. The Automobile Association recently attributed the latest fuel price hike to an increased economic activity because of the global rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. Joining us to discuss these headlines is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, very welcome. Good to see you again.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very, very fine, sir. So, shall we begin? So many things to talk about, Chika, and the floor is yours.
Let me start with this, the CBN.
The automobiles.
The mobile.
Yes.
I mean, just like they will do in this program, we probe to the bottom.
Of course.
We'll go the extra miles. The story in the financial press, including some dailies, that were popular these days.
Yes.
Ascribed the story to Bloomberg.
Yes.
As the root of the story. But I've certainly found out that there's some clarifications that are necessary.
And just a second, just want to clear this for our viewers. So we're looking at January through February 2020 OMO sales at 3 trillion naira. Compared to January to February 2021, it's been reduced by about 60%. So again, just quoting him saying that they are looking at reducing that. But go ahead.
You also
please.
know that economic activities were low,
of course,
during this period. So
correct.
You have to compare like with like.
Yes.
Even though the volume of OMO sales were lower, you remember that 2020 was filled with little economic activity.
Yes.
Just towards the Q3 that things started picking up. But you remember the root of the OMO sales.
Yes, yes.
The CBN, of course, has been working towards reducing the volume of OMO sales. And one of the first initiatives, remember, was the removal of corporates in Nigeria and FPAs
yes.
from investing in that market. And even again, discouraging the Nigerian banks from playing that market through the introduction of the loan-to-deposit ratio initiative. Principally, we saw that the things that came out from that, individuals and corporates, we are instead of pushing your money to go and make quick gains from OMO, we are encouraged to go and invest in the real sectors of the economy.
Yes.
The banks, instead of pushing money to go make OMO sales, we saw the growth in real estate sector lending.
Yes.
We saw this in even the private sector lending. We saw individuals started getting loans from banks. Because it became a honeypot for corporates.
Yes.
A lot of corporates, instead of spending money and expanding their plans, we are putting their money into automobiles at the time.
Yes.
It would raise up to about 18, 16, 17, 18%. You recall about 2 years ago.
Correct.
And so CBN saw that disharmony in the financial system and started moderating that. And the first thing they did was to get out the corporates and the FPAs from investing in the market. They also started discouraging banks from playing that market also. And with that discouragement, you saw what happened. The loan-to-deposit ratio of the banks increased, and a lot of banks started pushing towards retail lending. Yes. Just like you and me, who could actually with our phone get money from the banks. Now, that is the issue. Onset of COVID, flights to safety, oil price challenges, reserve problems, and there were issues as to meeting the commitments to the matured FPIs. Now, CBN thinks that the sentiments are getting better for the country now.
Yes.
Oil prices are stabilizing. COVID vaccines, you saw the launch in Nigeria, where Nigeria was launching.
Yes, we broke it right here on the stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see that 4 million doses of COVID.
Vaccine
so sentiments are right. The economy is, stabilizing. Reserves are going to be inch up. And so it provides stability required for the foreign portfolio investors to actually look into Nigeria again. So CBN is not out there to go and eliminate the FPIs or such like.
Okay.
That's not the import of that statement.
Okay.
The issue is that just in line with the total streamlining of the financial system, CBN is working on the total package and make sure that everything is adds up. That's what is happening.
So, but is there any concern with respect to the bill? Because the what's understood is that there's about $40 billion or so. 1/3 of that is being held by foreign portfolio investors. Is there any, as far as management is concerned, any concern to reduce that?
The truth is that when this figure you put out now,
yes.
If you ask about 3 different people they will have different figures.
Right. Okay.
What we know that there's been some backlog of FPIs that have not been matured, that have not been remitted.
Yes.
You also know, look at when we looked at the last bid, we saw that the NTB rates are going up.
They are going up,
So the
correct.
automobiles were almost 10%. Become very attractive again.
Indeed.
And for me, if I hold of API, I will look at the sentiment and say, reserves are moving up, dollar is stabilizing, a major source of foreign exchange is increasing. So will I be able to roll over my mature bills? And then maybe even remit some of it as CBN is working, and then roll over the rest.
Okay.
So the concern about maybe 1 year ago was worse than it is now.
Right.
Things are getting better now for the system now.
Looking forward with oil prices at it's just at $63 a barrel now. Does that
The sentiment is very positive.
So we have to hope that OPEC meeting tomorrow comes out. Out well. Okay, there's so much to ask you, Chika. SEC, Ponzi schemes.
Ponzi scheme. With COVID lockdown, low yield environment, the economic system is literally standstill. Online transaction was the means of transaction, and people became greedy and restless and started looking for quick returns. And what happened therefore was that they succumbed to all these Ponzi schemes. The Ponzi schemes are always there; they will always be there. The issue is, what does the government, SEC this time, do to encourage people, individuals, educate them, create awareness that these things are fake. In an environment where the savings account rate or deposit rate was less than almost zero, how would somebody promise you 10% per month? That is high falutin. That is almost fake. And so SEC has to continue to educate people. But you see, it's a restlessness that was in the system because of COVID. What was happening? People had money. People were looking for how to multiply the money they had.
Yes.
And and the environment, the savings account rates were very low. The deposit rates were low. People were promising them, big rates. And so the restlessness and the greed, set in. And those who were wise, what happened? That's why a lot of money fled into our stock market.
Correct.
And you saw that our Nigerian stock market became the best performing.
50% return.
So that was the legal one.
Yeah.
But the illegal one is the Ponzi scheme.
Right.
So as the legal one, stock market profited from the low interest environment and what's existing in the economy. The illegal ones also profited, which is the Ponzi scheme. But SEC has to raise the level of education and awareness. We did one in this system that had to do in Port Harcourt.
Yes.
Money exchange or something like that.
Right. With the long lines of people looking to get their money back.
There was a SEC office in Port Harcourt, and I don't know how that happened. So they have to, drum into people's, head, the newspapers, the advertisements, the social media people, to make sure that they understand that these Ponzi schemes are really Ponzi schemes.
Excellent point. What about the challenge of the fact that a lot of these are popping up online? Does the SEC have the capability to be able to...
It may not be able to monitor them, but the issue is create awareness. Look at the MMM. MMM was almost like...
The most famous
the famous
one
MMM.
of all, yeah.
Nigerians lost about 18 billion. And they shut down that, and you can imagine how much the impact it had on people's savings and so on and so forth. And the danger of that is that it hurts the proper financial system. Because people can ascribe the failings of the Ponzi scheme to the proper conventional stock market or even the conventional banking system, that nothing is safe. And so that's why it's in the interest of the whole economy that SEC, for example, continues to educate people as the dangers of the Ponzi schemes.
And I guess we're out of recession now. It's because, of course, you've listed the COVID-19 pandemic, the recession, all these other things. So hopefully rates are going up.
Rates are going up. Sentiment is more positive.
This is almost like an OMO analysis. So as things get better, hopefully there's a reduction.
People go back to the traders in the markets, we are not trading. So they're looking for quick returns. All of them were putting the cap. It's like the stock market collapsed in Nigeria in 2008, 2009.
Right.
The same thing. People took the capital of their businesses and put in quick wins in the stock market. And but the issue that these things are Ponzi schemes, and they will always collapse.
Thank you, Chika. Got a couple minutes left. I want to get your thoughts on South Africa's latest increase in fuel prices, and electricity tariffs are also happening. Go ahead.
We've spoken about it in this program, and I think this March was when we're supposed to have celebrated Nigeria, the liberation of
1 year from there,
of our own market, of oil market. But you know that really that hasn't happened because the government, NNPC, is still substantially in charge of all importation.
Yes.
Now, the kind of free market situation that they anticipated that will allow prices to, find an equilibrium.
Yes.
And so free market will reign.
Yes.
And prices will actually come down at the end of the day, just like the price of data in Nigeria,
Yes.
where the MTNs, the Glos, and the Nine Mobiles are competing with each other, and so on and so forth. That's expectation, for even aviation also. That's expectation for the oil downstream sector, but it has not happened. Principally because of the fact, one, that they require substantial amount of foreign exchange to import the products. And that's another limiting factor.
Yes.
And then NPC have some overhang on that market. And so that has not happened. So the market we're expecting has not played out. And so the challenge we said from the beginning was not when oil price was $30 per barrel. You could say you're removing subsidy. But now when it's at this is $65 per barrel, can you sustain subsidy? And you don't need a smart professor to tell you that there's subsidy now. Because when the oil price is something dollars per barrel, and the NMPC are coming to say they're not going to increase any price in petroleum price in March, something's happening. No matter the name they give to it. They call it under recovery.
Right.
And
no
matter the platitude, no matter how much they paint it.
It is what it is.
It's what it is. So that is happening now. Now compare it to what's happening in South Africa. But you see, I keep telling you that it's the issue in South Africa. Nobody can tell you how much you say your petrol. Because it's a free market.
Correct.
And I hate to compare economies. Because you compare economies, you must compare everything.
Correct.
But that's what's happening there. So we're there. Whereas there, the price of this thing is moving up because of the input cost, which is the price of oil, is increasing. Over here, we're struggling to fight the battle with the Nigerian Labour Congress and other issues to make sure that we have the free market that we desire here.
Chika, I want to ask you about fuel levies. They have a road accident fund in South Africa. This road accident fund, it's like insurance that protects any driver in South Africa, whether you are a foreigner or a citizen. It indemnifies you against death, injury. Now, one of the main funding mechanisms of that...
Fuel tax.
Yes, is fuel tax. They also have a carbon tax. I think about 10-20% of everything that a South African pays for fuel goes to this kind of levy. Would that work here? Are we asking too much? Because we are talking about funding this and funding that.
Even the ordinary tax. But we had some tax like this before.
Yes.
And the issue, even the custom people some time ago were asking that should be brought back. Because it actually helped in the government revenue.
Yeah.
But, these are
no room for that.
These are difficult times.
Yeah.
These are very difficult times. And everybody's being battered. And the government is being sensitive about the blowback. And hope that something's play out.
Chika, we've got, I have to ask, as far as reforms are concerned, reforms in the downstream sector, reforms in oil and gas, the NSI, the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, they just signed a deal
with OCM Morocco.
Of Morocco, right. So,
under the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative,
yes,
initially we used to import fertilizer from there and come and blend in Nigeria.
Right.
But now, as a further extension of that partnership between Nigeria and Morocco, they're going to the next level of using the gas of Nigeria and the phosphate of Morocco in partnership to set up a plant in Akwa Ibom State that will produce ammonium fertilizer that will feed back Morocco and, of course, the Nigerian markets. So it's one of those things that you smile about, where you have the African partnership between Nigeria and Morocco happening. And it involves the Moroccan government, Nigerian government, Mobile, and Akwa Ibom State government. So about 5 agreements were signed over this in Morocco, all towards expanding the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative.
Great stuff. Chika, we've got an election coming up in about 2 years, right? As far as these reforms, is there any worry that electioneering will interrupt these types of landmark agreements as you get closer? So 2021, 2022. Can we expect to see more of this happening?
The beauty of this is our president is not going for re-election again.
Right.
And so
he can focus.
He should focus on legacies.
Yeah.
And push this things to the end, to the mark. And I'm sure that he realizes that. Therefore, he should keep his eye on the ball. And one of the things you're going to do normally is maybe by next year, he's going to ask all his ministers who will be distracted by politics to leave the cabinet. So that he can keep those in cabinet who will focus on enable him run the race to the end.
So you're optimistic. You're optimistic about that. Okay, sorry. I have to take you back to the fuel matter because again, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timi Silva, categorically said that Nigerians should prepare for higher fuel prices because crude oil is increasing. And Do you think, hopefully, can you hopefully, again, just bringing back what's going on in South Africa now, can you hope for a unified voice on this fuel matter going forward?
Nigeria cannot continue to carry this subsidy.
Point blank.
Point blank.
Period.
Can't. Now, whatever way they can, the Labour has been high strong on this, rightfully.
Yes.
Because even a lot of the states, I'm told about how many states even have not even paid the minimum wage salary that have been approved since. So Labour has its own points. But then the other side is that this country cannot carry this subsidy. We can't. So we must find a solution that's best for our country in this respect, and deal with the issue once and for all. You know, the Labour people have not trusted, have not trusted the government in managing the subsidy. The issue is, how can you reinvest the subsidy to make life easier for the citizens of the country? So the savings from that subsidy, what are you going to do with it? Is it going to reduce our transport costs? Yeah. Is it going to make the roads more motorable? And so on and so forth. You're going to make health easier so that the citizens, the tax on the citizens is reduced. That's basically what it is. So it's not an issue removing the subsidy. Our lifestyle gets worse. That's basically what the citizens are not happy about.
Arise business analyst Chika Bono just talked about a wealth of economic matters today, as always. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.